Morning. Emerging markets continue higher. Some of the same themes remain. Resource stocks, a slightly weakening dollar, oil prices solidly above 85, and some upgrades, but certainly allocations in the new year. So as we look into Asia last night, China up 120 basis points, India up 73, Malaysia up 98, South Korea the only underperformer down 33 bips into Eastern Europe, Czech and Poland both up over 2.5%. These are two markets that, from a value perspective, I think people are looking at in 2010. In fact, relative value, Asia, LATAM, and then EMEA being Eastern Europe, Middle East, and Africa. Many folks are seeing the value in that part of the world. Russia's closed. The local markets will be closed for the next 7 days, amazingly. But the Russian GDRs that are trading in London are up about 2% across the board on higher oil and higher commodity prices. Into Latin America, Brazil's up 30 basis points here. Chile's up 47 at this point, and we expect a decent open in the States, where the data flow is somewhat light. On the headline news, we have both India and China reminding us that inflation is very much on the minds of some of these key economies across the emerging world. People's Bank of China talking about raising reserve requirements. In India, talking about inflation, currently at about 6% as being a major issue. And remember that for emerging markets, price import inflation from commodities is particularly sensitive in China, India, Turkey, some of the places where they really have very little of their homegrown commodity space. Speaking of homegrown, looking into the ag sector upgrades by everyone from Credit Suisse to Nomura to Bank of America in potash and in the nitrogen-based fertilizers. So we're going to see a number of those names around the world rally this morning. As we look across the other headline news, Turkey's actually planning a 30-year bond. This is the longest maturity in 2 years. As yields are at record lows, it makes a lot of sense for these guys to move out both long maturities and to issue foreign debt here. We are expecting an IMF deal for Turkey sometime in the next couple of weeks, but that's something that the market has begun to price in. In copper prices, the strike at Codelco, the largest copper producer, looks like they're going to come to an end, may put some downward pressure on copper. Watch that for some of the obvious copper plays that we've been following. That's it from here.